Hello and welcome to a new edition of the Chroniclerpodcast. Today I am accompanied by Wilkie, Gucky, and Raceland, and we're going to discuss round 5 and 6 of Ultimate Conquest. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Did you say help or was it a hello that was just cut off? But yeah, there were like 1.5 interesting matches yesterday. And there are going to be 2 very interesting matches on Saturday that we're going to discuss. Then I guess let's get started with CTL against WTP, which CTL sadly lost and is now eliminated from Ultimate Conquest. As Wilkie would say, they can now save speed ups for the upcoming invasion.
Woo!
Woo! But yeah, I think you discussed it quite a lot already on your stream yesterday.
Yeah, I can give another quick recap if you like.
Yeah, sure.
So basically, match started off pretty strong. We won the race for the mother. Our outpost, they won the warrior and their outpost. They basically WTP just sat kind of still. Ports opened up. We won both races. At that point, we swapped Napo into their place, but we didn't swap our port. And then we started getting solos from CP at that point on our outpost. We trapped him in there. He released. We took it back. And then they started soloing our port a lot. And basically every solo that came through, and there were like each person that could solo. So I think WTP had about 3 people. Took about like 30 seconds to send another one, in between. Like they just send it in, shoot it back, send it in. And each time it was like wounding like 2.5 mil. So we had the upper hand. CR came out. They won the CR race with Mia. So we're like, fuck, we're not going to take that. Fill out like 22 million. We're like, shit. So then they kept soloing our port and it was bleeding us pretty heavily. This is at like the 22-minute mark. So we decided to make a swap for the port. Swap didn't turn out, as we went for the swap. Saw an arrow coming in, but I was like, fuck, man, maybe we can sneak it in before. Got unlucky. It pretty much hit the same time as we swapped. Like literally, if we waited like a second, I think we would have been fine. But like as soon as the disband happened, he fucking hit. I was like, oh fuck. So yeah, that's what it is. What it is. But then the rest of the match, we basically took the other buildings that they were holding, left CP and the outpost, and then kept hitting the port with rallies that would win. So we'd loaded up asterisks with like dragons, and he went and smashed Emma, and was doing the same to them. Like instead of us taking 2. Then we started doing that with 3 more rally leaders and just kept hitting them. And yeah, but it was pretty hard. The whales that they had in there did not want to lose. So they just, even though they didn't have the mother the whole game, they just kept healing. And with the thunderstorm, they were like sending like between I think it was they had like 5 whales, something like that. Between the 5 of them, they were sending like 10 million reinforcements together. So it was like half of the port. But yeah, I'm happy with the outcome. We made them spend a fuck ton of money, so had to pay for that win. And yeah, that was the match.
I mean, we were just speaking about like how do you combat the solos and the mass rallies from like the huge accounts. I'm saying how the event will basically come down the same as Champion City Siege. People abandon, people retake, and it'll just come down to micromanagement of like 5-minute occupations.
But like,
yeah,
that works for
if
CCS,
it gets crazy enough, maybe yeah. I think like right now, like it's still pretty like likely that people just swap in the strongest rally leader, and you just reinforce it, right? Because I mean, I don't know how long somebody wants to spend money on, the game. Like like if every match you play, you're spending $2,000 or $3,000 in speeds and heals. I don't know how long someone's gonna want to do that. I have no idea. But like, I'm assuming it's not super sustainable. I could see it for UC matches, but even then, I mean, if you have Savo and Castle Rock and all of the Immortals solo him at the same time, you just send reinforcements. You just can't hold all the buildings. You
Yeah,
just have to
exactly.
manage your marches very well. But again, like as you acquire more whales, it increases the amount of reinforcements you can stick in at one time. Because then one whale, if he's sending in, 1.5 million march, that's half of one. So instead of kicking out multiple people, you might only kick out 2 people at a time out of the 30. So there's like some balance there.
Hmm. Definitely. But like,
I think like what we found was working to stop solos was just like hit them somewhere else, or like use fake rallies, or like you don't send your entire armada at one building, try to take it. Instead, load up 3, 4, 5 quick rallies, shoot them off at them, and keep bleeding them out somewhere else. Because if a team is comprised of mainly whales that are carrying the healing load, which is the people who are going to be paying for this, then they can't, with a 3 million army size, they can't be in 2 places at once. So you just fucking split it. You just, setting rallies over there. You use, if you have whales to solo, you solo something else. You just create chaos, and then it kind of makes it hard for them to do anything. That's what stopped the solos on our port when we did run those fake rallies.
I mean, that works for like an alliance like WTP, right? Where they have like 1, 2, or maybe 3 people who can do that. But if you look at EKW or Run, with like 8, 9, 10, maybe more of the people that can do that, then this strategy again gets kind of not that strong anymore, because they can just they can just put 2 to 3 people to just tell them, all you do this game is just solo everything you can see, and that's what you do. That's all you do.
Yeah,
While the others
I
can all
mean,
focus on other stuff.
but someone has to hold buildings, right? So
Yeah,
like
true.
if you have 10, let's say you have 10 maxed out glorious whales, you have at least 2 buildings you're going to want them in, right? So that's 8. If you're hitting a building with rallies, right? Let's not even say like the opposing team is soloing. If you're only shooting rallies off and you're shooting quick rallies, the likelihood of some of them at least not soloing something and going in for reinforcements is, I think, is a pretty good percentage. Because as you get later into the match, especially if they're not holding the mother, the players who aren't spending aren't going to just keep dropping shit tons of speeds and diamonds to keep playing in the game. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
those whales
that's
that are
true.
going to pay the price. And at that point, I mean, like the way I see it is, yo, dude, if you want to drop $3,000 every game to heal and speed just to get a W, that's on you, man. Like,
Mm.
good job, bro. Like, but you're still gonna have to pay for everything else in your upkeep in your account, right? So I feel like at this point, with all these whales and the solos, it's just figuring out a way to extend them and bleed them more to basically burn them out of the game. Not out of your game that you're playing right now, but to burn them out of the game mode so that they don't want to just keep paying $4,000 or $3,000 or $2,000 just to win. If that makes sense.
Mm. Yeah. Like, the question is, do some of these whales care if they spend that much every game? Or
Well, I
do they
mean,
just keep going?
it definitely happens. I mean, if you look at Kinniston, she eventually turned in at the end of the day and said that's enough. And she regretted never playing the game.
I mean, true.
So it does happen. Eventually you're going to get burned out. You don't want to be carrying the load the whole time.
Mm.
Yeah, I think just chaos, really. I think chaos is just the answer. I mean, um, if you're able to create chaos within the match, which these solos are the newest form of chaos because they're so fast and they kick out so many troops and wound so many, then you can be really effective in shutting down like what they're doing. Because if you're able to solo multiple places at the same time, or shoot rallies at one place, solo another place, spread it out so they can't be like, okay, they're all attacking the port. Everybody look at the port. Like if they're all looking at the port and you fucking take the other port, like, shit, man.
Yeah.
So I think that's more of the answer, but it'll be interesting to see if the devs after this season make any changes or they just leave it how it is.
Well, that KAC alliance, they did like one troop rallies on one port or something, and then they attacked the other one all out.
Did they?
So it looked like they were rallying one side and they actually went hard at the other.
Yeah.
So you'll probably start to see some of that, like, sneaky tactics.
I mean, alliances will try to come up with something new, how to combat it in this off season. And I'm like curious to see how it will go. But I think that at the moment, with how AC currently works, I don't think there's that much an alliance can do against these alliances that hoard whales unless you do the same. It's like no matter how good you play tactically, I don't think you really stand a chance at giving the status quo of the game at the moment.
I think you need like at least 3 pretty close to max accounts to be super competitive against those teams, because if you could have 3, then at least you can at least like hold off like key locations. Like you still have the option to swap one in to a Castle Rock or a port or Mother or wherever you really want to hold. And basically you just consolidate your forces there and let them take everything else.
But like,
and hopefully you get them to take it with someone strong, right?
Depending on the weather, right? Like, let's assume we have the thunderstorm. Aren't we at a point in the game where maxed accounts can also solo out maxed accounts?
Most likely, yeah. But
Because
the thing with getting soloed out is not the amount of troops that get kicked out of the building. It's actually what's more important in the duration of the match is what gets wounded, right? So if you stick in a max account, you have dragons in key locations, right? You only have a few locations. You stick all the dragons you can in them. That max account that is soloing is going to be weaker than that account that is in there with the dragons, right?
Yeah.
So what that will do, it'll put the burden of cost on that soloing player, meaning that for them to solo another max account out, they're going to have to pay a lot to do so. And it will kick out 3 million troops. But like I said, that's usually not a factor. Like if you're any like half good at reinforcing, you just fucking reinforce it. You're like, okay, like keep going. The problem with these accounts is never getting kicked out. It was that you just get bled out of troops and then you make a decision. Is getting a top 3 placement worth 5 to 1,000 days that we'd have to use at least to make it there through all these other teams? Or do we just let them fucking take the Simon medals and keep our fucking speed ups? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to make that decision.
True. Then I guess let's move on to the second match, which would be BCL against BDR. It looks pretty close on if you just look at it from the outside, but it was basically a testing match, you could say. It's like they just fought for Castle Rock, and the other ones were agreed upon who takes what. So actually, like in the end, BCL disbanded Castle Rock to give BDR the 60k as well. And I wouldn't have wanted to be the person who made the call if it would have gone wrong and the math didn't work out, because it's super close, like 400 points difference. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a lot of effort, man. I mean, congrats to both of them for doing it.
Yeah.
But fuck that, dude.
I died. Like my heart couldn't stand the pressure in that situation. Like imagine your alliance got eliminated because you did a math error for 400 points or something.
Well,
it's like,
what do you get for that? Like, you get like 200 fucking marks of the dragon? No, like you get
Worth.
10 material chests, 5 hours of training, and 400k gold. You know,
Definitely worth it.
like, and that's for the winner, man. That's not even the loser.
Yeah, it's
So,
just
like, fuck that, dude. You all got 50k. That's the important one. Boom, we're done. Like, that's what I
Yeah.
would have done personally.
Yep. But it worked out in the end. BCL advances to the next round. Or is it like, well, it's not a semifinals, it's something weird. I don't know.
It's
You
the
can't, you don't
B-side
really...
final, baby.
True.
It's the A-side, B-side final, and then
True, it's a
the final
loser
final.
it's a loser brackets final, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be WTP against BCL on Saturday. And at 1300, I think, the same as the run match, sadly. So it's gonna be annoying. Good luck getting into the streams, Wilkie. Two at the same
Shit,
What I would
time.
have,
Yeah,
I would
I
have
mean, I
liked
can't
to
even
have
believe I didn't
seen.
get in that one.
Yeah. That was hilarious though yesterday with the BCL BDR match. It's like,
Bro, was I not like on the money?
yeah, you were, but like
Like,
so were everybody. So was everybody else, I suppose.
I don't know, man. I'm convinced that there was like an error or something. Like it was a bug. I don't know, man. Maybe not, but like almost like some spots weren't like it wasn't the full 100 or something. You know,
Mm, could be. I don't know.
unless
But
a
like,
shit ton of
is
people
it
care and we don't know. Like,
is it really just 100 spots though? Well, because that would be insanely bad.
I don't
I
I
would
don't know
have
where
liked
that
to
came
have
from.
seen that CTL against BDR. You know, like the two losers from that matches get to play each other. You know, for like a
Oh,
fourth place.
Yeah, that'd be
you
fun.
mean fifth place?
I think that would be a good match. Cartel against BDR.
Yeah, yeah, that could be interesting. But yeah, what do you guys think WTP against BCL? Because I didn't make my bets yet because I just have no fucking idea how that's gonna play out, that match.
Yeah, it's really hard to say because you don't really know how BCL deals with the solos, right? Because against the only one they fought was Run, and they just got just lit up, and then they're like, "Okay, fuck that."
Yeah, but
So we don't know what adjustments they make.
I think BCL is more ready to waste the speed ups than like you guys were, I think. And
Yeah,
also they have more stronger accounts. They can stick in buildings, maybe not lose 2 million troops each time they lose a solo.
yeah. I mean, they could. I think they're in a better position if they can get high activity. You know, like if they have activity like
Yeah.
BDR, I don't think they will. But if they could pull 85 members in for it and have one account, one pilot kind of thing, I think they could be in a good spot. Basically, they have to land like they have to win some races, win the swap, and if they can get a port mother, maybe CR, that's all they need. And I think they have the accounts to be able to handle that. Stick Burgle in, stick Kaine in, stick Drogon in. Boom, done. Like we just
Yeah.
need to reinforce now. But again, we don't know. BCL strategies was very old school in terms of how they operate. They didn't really have to get good at tactics in the seasons they won because they were just so dominant.
Yep.
And I think this allowed everybody else to really fine tune strategies. Just the players, like the average person, to get used to reinforcing and the steps you need to take in terms of getting your players ready to reinforce or getting them ready to rally and send quick rallies at people and time them and everything. They didn't really have to worry about those things previously. Not that they can't do them, just that they haven't had as much experience. So you really don't know what the fuck they're going to do at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's good when you get those AC matches, when the other side reach out and say, we're not going to win. How about we get 40k points? You just get your 80k and then we'll take the rest. And then you get to practice all your reinforcements that have been unhindered.
Hmm.
Mm.
Because there's like alliances out there that just don't want to play you. They'll just go, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever had that, Wilkie? The other side reaching out and saying, yeah, take your
No,
80k and we'll take the rest.
no, no. Never.
You're not that big of a bully then.
No, no. We just take all the points and that's it. And then it's like, oh, should we disband? Yeah, 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 whatever.
Hmm. But yeah, the second match on Saturday at the same time slot, 1300 as well. It's gonna be EKW against Run, and I didn't bet that game either because the handicap is just so small that I just can't really be sure what to bet on. Like
Yeah,
I can see Run winning it, but can also see IKW winning it, and I can also see it being a super close match that's being decided in the last 2 minutes or something. So I don't know, like because both of these alliances um, can have the capacity to solo people out, um, while Run
I,
has I think the better racers, and if they make the swaps right, they can get strong people into the buildings, and it can work out. But
yeah, I think Run. They're just better tactical, right? I don't think we've
I think
seen
so
the
too.
Immortals land a swap once. Um, they're just solo, right? They're just brute force, and they don't have super good rally timing either. So
Hmm.
for Run, I mean, all they need to do is win a race, stick someone strong in. You're going to see solos coming in, but they're going to be in a stronger position to handle those solos. And the people soloing, like we said, are going to have to pay a steeper price to land that.
Yeah, and also you
I
gotta
think
admit
they're gonna,
the participation of Run is just insane this season. So they always at 95, 96, 94 people,
yeah,
while EKW is around the between 80 and 90 basically,
yeah, it's a
sometimes
very
even
strong
lower.
alliance, but not a united alliance in terms of coordination, um, being able to
Yeah,
sync things
true.
in the same time, and swapping and all that stuff. So I think I'd give the edge to Run for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. What do our two Run fellas here think about it?
Yeah, it's one of those matches that it comes down to like who gets in the castles. I mean, there could be this season we've seen some crazy upsets. I remember when the board was announced, and everybody's like, "Oh, we know how this is going to go. It's going to be Cartel versus Run in the final."
Yeah,
Um,
that didn't turn out like that.
Never does.
so yeah, we've seen upsets. So again, this is why I was saying the other day. Um, we were being quite humble about the BCL match. It's like everybody's like, "Yeah, Run's going to stomp them," and we're like, well, at the end of the day, it's still BCL. Like give them some damn credit. Give them some respect. And I know we went into that match and we hammered them, but it was because their top 50 only played. Outside of their top 50, if you look at the healing rankings, some of them didn't even use the free speed ups. So once you're outside top 50 stop playing, then that's when the match starts to subside. So when it comes to us against IKW, it's like, are their top 50 and outside the top 50 all going to play? Or are they from 50 onwards, are they going to drop out and be like, no, it's too much healing, I need this, and Lord of Lords, more important.
Oh god, don't get me started on that. People saving. Uh, but like,
You know what I mean? Like, once
yeah,
those 50 plus drop out, then that's when your reinforcements drop out and the match starts to lose.
yeah, but like, I mean, looking at the rosters, it's just Run just looks so stacked and it looks so unbeatable, like similar to BCL in the past seasons, which you just looked at them and saw like, yeah, nobody can beat them. While EKW does have the scary people, Orion, his out, Sungnam, Blizzwurm, Salsa, so many other people as well that are decently strong. But yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna be a very interesting match. At least I hope it to be.
Yeah, I mean, like the top 36 of our alliance are all racers. These are all people that can get in the building and can kind of hold it. So 36 players that are going to be in the key battles. And then if you look at the top 15, that's all the mega accounts.
Yeah.
I mean, IKW are similar. I'll bring them up.
Yeah, they are similar, but not that stacked. Like if you
Yeah, some
compare
of
the
them are
top
like the dead
15 of
accounts too.
if you like compare the top 15 of EKW against the top 15 of Run, there's like a significant difference in power.
I mean, it's mostly just Sunam, Salsa, Imperial Rock, Devil Core, and all that are carrying. I mean, Orion's like one of these shows up one day, doesn't the next.
Yeah, it's weird. But I
But
mean, I
when he
guess
does
we'll
show
see.
up, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know really. It's like super tough position to make, like how to bet and stuff. And I'm still not sure if I just gonna skip this round or just gonna YOLO
Yeah.
some bets. Because I mean, I got everything I wanted already from the prediction shop, so I can just YOLO something.
Well, that's what I
Be
would say
risky.
about the match. That a lot of people are looking at the rosters and thinking, yeah, Run's just gonna like stomp them like they did BCL. At the end of the day, you got to give people respect. Like a lot of people thought the cartel was just going to walk all over IKW. I mean, it was a good match, but again, you had that upset because we weren't prepared for what
Yeah, I
they
mean,
did.
people saying that Run will stomp EKW, I think that's really, really bold.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't, to be honest.
you
I don't think
don't?
it's too bold. No, because like here's the thing, right? Like the Immortals, they're very powerful, right? Very brute force. But even when, we faced them in cartel, it wasn't like rallies that, got us. It was just the accumulating cost of getting soloed, right? So in that match, let's say if we stuck in instead of because we didn't do any swaps throughout that match, right? Let's say we do some swaps like WTP. Well, then that match gets a bit closer because we're not getting bled out so hard. So if Run are in the position to A, have faster racers, B, can swap people in and will, and C, have high attendance, then that forces the Immortals to rally instead of solo, right? And
Yeah.
they don't land rallies simultaneously. When they rallied us, I mean, they had some that were like, some were about to hit, some were 30 seconds out, some were a minute out. Like it wasn't close. So like, I think I think it's possible that the Immortals could show up against Run, but I really don't think it's going to be super competitive, to be honest with you, because what are they going to do? Solo Sungnam's going to come in and solo out EK out of somewhere like alone? Unlikely, right? Like with 90 people. So and when they fought us, it wasn't even like WTP where they all focused on one building. They were just fucking hitting everything in sight. So again, that just is the cost of the solos. But again, if you swap people in to those buildings, and Run can swap a Gold Glorious player basically in every building if they want to, then it's not really a huge issue. Especially if Run hold the mother, if they can hold both ports, and then there's that gap in Castle Rock, the Immortals are going to solo everything. And at that point, all Run has to do is set like 3-4 rallies on anything that the Immortals are holding to put pressure on them to slow those solos down. And then they just shut down the Immortals effectively because they can't fill the rallies quick enough and time them, right? So they're not going to be able to adjust to it. So I think it is possible that the Immortals could get blown out. I mean, they're still very powerful. And like Raceland said, if you're the competitor, you want to show respect. Like, you don't want to be like, yeah, I'm going to shit on them because you never know.
Not
But as
like you
not the
did.
competitor, from not the competitor and fighting the Immortals, I think Run can take them out. Just based off of what we've seen from both alliances. We've seen the Immortals solo everybody out of existence, but not really land rallies. We've seen Run land rallies. We've seen Run swap buildings. And we've seen them have high activity. And it's kind of the opposite of what the Immortals are working with. And with Sung Nam is a crazy X factor. I mean, he's willing to spend on fucking 3 gold glory assaults. So he's coming out, and
Is
you
it
better be damn
3
sure.
now, or
But
did he like start his 5th or 6th now already?
fuck, man, I don't know. I'm gonna send him a message though. Anyone know Korean? Like, Christ. Hey, you want to sponsor a streamer?
I'll have your name in the upper right corner permanently. So if you wanna,
I'll put you up there, dude. You got a logo or something, shit, dude? Let's get it going. But yeah, I mean, I think they're just totally 2 different alliances, right? Run was built for UC dominance, and the solo meta has come in, whether they plan for it or not. It's here and it's in their favor. The Immortals are built for brute force and being able to overpower and outcost their enemies. And if you're holding at least a few people, or you can make a swap and put in your strongest in there, then that kind of nullifies that strategy a bit. It makes it less effective. So if anyone has the tools to be able to do that, it's Run. I think the Immortals could challenge BCL and give them a tough time if BCL can't adjust. But against Run, I don't think they will.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's a fair assumption of the situation.
Okay, I can't believe that you're cheating on Mero with Sung Nam.
I never cheat
She's
on
gonna
Mia.
be like, I love you. She don't love you no more.
See, I can't cheat on Mia because she's the nicest ever, right? So I like her not because of her power, but because of her personality. Sung Nam, he's just got a fat wallet, and he's just like throwing it around like a big dick in a locker room.
Just admit
You
it.
know?
You've been greedy. You wanted a sugar daddy and a sugar mommy at the same time.
I mean, I'll take both, man. I'm not above going skiing, you know, one in each hand. Like, it is what it is, bro.
Just
Everybody's got a boss.
You still Wilkie of an XKVK Sunny rocking the Golden Glorious, and he was like, what? What happened? These Chroniclers, man.
Yeah, these fucking Chroniclers, dude. Yeah, I'm just waiting for them to give us some extra bonuses for views or something. That's when you're gonna see the dark side of Wilkie come out.
Oh no.
Anyone want some OnlyFans? Anyone want a nipple? 100 views? Come on.
Oh no. Can this video reach 200 likes? Then I'll do the next stream shirtless.
If this is 200 likes, I will get soloed by Sung Nam.
oh, that kind of sellout as well. Like killing yourself in
Kill
game.
yourself for the views, yeah. It what it is, man. It's just troops, right?
True. Then Wilkie being out of pulling back to K34 to whale up again to 12 million troops. Or 50 million troops.
Yeah.
Short vacation of 34, guys. See ya in half a year. Bye bye. Oh man. But yeah, I think like gonna be interesting, and I think depending on how the matches go on Saturday, it should give us a rather clear view on how the final would go as well. Because like I expect, like if we expect Run to win against EKW, and I think we all agree on that, and EKW then playing against the winner of WTP and BCL, and I think EKW can beat both of them if it comes down. Especially as BCL, if BCL wins, they will be super drained, most probably. There's only 4 days between 2 matches, and if WTP win, I think EKW just brute forces them. And then it comes back to the EKW against Run final. Or if BCL wins against WP and wins against EKW, Run will most probably win against BCL again in the final. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it shapes up on Saturday. And most probably we will see the future winner
I just
on
saw this
Saturday.
new update that's coming. Awakening 2.0. You don't need the commander to be gold to awaken them.
What?
Yeah. So it's going to be based in tier. Like you can unlock the tier 1 if they're green.
Are you talking what?
Yeah. It's a new article that's
Oh,
just been published. And if they're blue, you can get tier 2. If they're purple, you can get tier 3. And if they're gold, you can get the 4-star.
wait. So we get all the materials that we have used back for free?
No, so what they're doing is, like, say Annie, for example, a lot of people have got purple Annie just now because of the thingy pass, the recruitment pass. But they can't awaken her because she's not gold. So they're ready
Yeah.
to update the system now that you can awaken her, and it's going to be based on the quality of the commander. So to unlock tier 1, the commander needs to be green, and tier 2 needs to be blue, tier 3 needs to be purple, and the 4-star, it needs to be gold. So a lot of people that have Annie purple will be able to take her to tier 3 awakening.
But like,
They're increasing the level of the commanders.
you can level them up to level 80. Like, this means that is that a hidden buff to healing rebel leaders again? So
I
they
mean,
need to
even
nerf it again?
if you have her at blue and you get her to 2-star awakening, then you're going to get 60 extra points of combat rate.
But like, they say that all materials that you have used to awaken commanders before the awakening systems will be returned. So so basically what happens now, but I don't understand it. It's like, did all the people who awaken commanders now get that awakening basically for free?
I think it's just
Start
gonna
fresh.
restart, maybe. Like they're just gonna
Well, that's
unawaken the
good because I can get
commanders.
all the.
So all those
I'm
plebs who are like, oh, Soren Raymond and this person, and are like, fuck, man, now I need Theon or something. Like, maybe they can awaken some nodes instead.
That's good. I'll get all my Chris stuff back. I don't really use them.
But they're making general tokens more easily obtainable, it says here too. VIP shop, Amethyst shop, Westeros Pass, Rearwood Memories. But they were already though, right?
Yeah, they were there already. I don't know.
At least in the
I mean,
VIP
that's a good
shop now
update.
it is.
This is a really good update.
But like, this means that, wait. Oh, so everything will be reset. So we get everything back from awakening.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody who doesn't care about Gorel and got these Gorel thingies from,
Yeah. They can
or
max
will they
out
use
somehow.
or will they give you back Gorel tokens and not general tokens?
I mean, it'll be good if like you can do this every now and again. It's not just a one-off thing. So then you start getting people juggling around. Because I think with the weakness system, what you had was all the whales maxed out everything, but then everybody else is like chipping away. But to make it more viable, if they can have resets, say it's 50,000 blue diamonds to reset your awakenings. Some days you may want to play with gold Annie, some days you want to play with gold Vion. If you can only unlock like one of those big ones. So if you can switch it around every now and again, for 50,000 diamonds. That makes it more economized for the mid-tier playing as well as the upper tier. So if the devs are listening, here you go. That's how I make money.
Psh, gonna cut this out.
I've finally been caught on a Grom video. Great. It's usually bubble. Yeah, this is welcomed. I like this.
This is interesting. I'm gonna be interesting to see how this update actually plays out next week. Because it
It's
sounds
funny
weird
if it
to me right
glitches
now.
and everything's broken, and then they go, "Oh no!"
Most probably.
I wish you could just see what the commander's skills would be. Like, hopefully that's in 2.0. Like, before they're awakenable.
Yeah.
Get a little planning going. Because right now, like, it's just like Theon was like a bombshell, man. Like, it was just like, what the fuck? Like, I was talking about this on stream. Like, the difference between Andrea's 4-tier ability and Theon's is just like ridiculous. Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like 30% imp defense or 30% imp attack, depending on the situation, or like 95% total attack and total or something like that. Whatever it is,
Yeah.
like, fuck, dude, that's not even close. And not as anything at all.
It's gonna be weird. But then let's wrap the podcast up at this point, I guess. And we can all chill back and wait for next week's update and see what happens.
Yep.
Thank you guys for sticking with me. And thank you everybody for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And see you next time. Bye bye.
Peace.